Hi there, I'm Rosie, and I'll start a short series of videos presenting my initial training for recruiters, so small business owners, or hiring managers who are really willing to improve their recruitment processes. I'll start with something that is very important and actually is covers the full recruitment process at some points because employer branding starts when the organization starts existing, basically. It's exists before even you start considering that you need to hire more people to build a team, a department, etc., etc. Of course, it's interesting that even a small company just with one owner needs a reputation in order to attract clients, but also to attract future employees. That's why I'll start with the focus on employer branding and why it's important for the really quality of the recruitment process and also quality of hire and retention of your employees. Employer branding in general, it's a sum of organization's reputation as a place to work and its employee value proposition. Of course, in today's competitive market, it's no longer enough to offer good salaries. Companies must really communicate the purpose, the culture, the life, work setup, and opportunities to growth. I dedicate this video on the employer branding because I read recently research results that say that 75% of candidates consider employer reputation before applying for the role. And from my experience of 50 plus years of recruiter in different industries across the globe, I would say that it's very important, really. And good candidates usually do the research before clicking the apply button or before reaching out to the recruiter or to the hiring manager. That's why companies with poor reputation, research says, often need to pay at least 10% on the top of the average salaries to attract candidates, while strong employer brands can reduce the cost per hire or the salary range sometimes by 40-50%. So yeah, let me share a story. During my time recruiting for a MarTech company, I observed a significant gap between the information shared with the candidates in interviews and what was available online. The company's website focused heavily on the product, but said little or almost nothing about the employee experience or about the company as a workplace. And candidates usually ask, we recruiters are the first point that the candidate meets during the recruitment process after they have applied or they've reached out. And candidates frequently asked, why should I work here? And what can you tell me about the team, about the structure, about the goals, about the office remote hybrid setup? And we post-hiring conducted an internal survey to define values and career opportunities that actually employees on the site already had in order to rebuild the career page. And that's why even if you don't have a simple employer and you are the only employed in the company and you're planning to build a team around you, build a business page and make sure that you have a career page or at least explain what is the motivation behind this business, why it exists, and what happens if a newcomer comes to your company. What are your plans for the people who will join you at some point? And of course, having this example within a couple of months, applications doubled because the good candidates, they usually search the company website if they don't have any other information. Yeah, nowadays LinkedIn is very useful in this case. You can see if this company have employees or managers with their profiles there. You can see their work history. You can see their interests, and that helps a lot, I would say. So yeah, I can tell you a lot about employer branding and how you practically can bring your brand to the candidate market and be competitive with other small, mid, big companies. Just drop a message, share and subscribe, and definitely I'll be happy to share my experience in employer branding, recruitment, and also talent acquisition processes. I'm Rosie, and more videos will follow.